From cycling the Parkway to rowing the Henley, we're active in Niagara. News Talk 610 CKTB. The Larry Fedoruk Show is live on 610 CKTB.
The story of Adam LaRoche is garnering a lot of attention, discussion. It's been developing over the last couple of days. This is a Chicago White Sox baseball player who walked away from the second year of a 2-year deal, left $13 million on the table, apparently because the president of that team said, listen, you're bringing your son to the ballpark every day. We think it's too much. We need you to dial it back a little bit. And rather than do that, he walked away. Now, last year, the Chicago Tribune wrote that his son, Drake, he's 14 years old now, was very well behaved, and all the players love him. There's not an issue with him in the clubhouse or on the field. He helps out. He cleans cleats. He's quiet. He picks up the baseballs. He's with his dad. He goes to regular school, except when he's traveling with the team. He gets homeschooling thing. And Adam LaRoche, who is also the son of a professional baseball player and had those experiences when he was young, wanted the same memories for his son. So rather than say, no, you have to dial it back, he quit and walked away. Now they're still talking, and, the team threatened to boycott a spring training game, and this is all going on. But the discussion that ensued was kids at the workplace. How much is too much? Is the workplace for adults in work? An interesting article about this from our guest. He is president and CEO of IntelliCare Direct, a customer service solutions company. He is Gabriel Bristol, who joins us now. Mr. Bristol, how are you?
Good, Larry. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. I read with interest your article on kids at work and some of the guidelines and things like that. Before we get to that, this case specifically, Adam LaRoche, what did you think of it when you heard about it?
Well, the first thing that stood out to me, Larry, is this is a man of principles for sure. How many of us could stand on principle when $13 million is in our face, right? So you got to give him credit for that. And secondly, I had an interesting take on this. My thought was where the White Sox failed was that they did not make their rules around children in the workplace apparent from the very beginning. And then it appears they kind of changed them mid-course. What was acceptable at one point was no longer acceptable, and that becomes problematic when you're not clear and concise on what your rules and regulations are.
Well, you make some great points there, one being that it's very common for, especially ballpark, for these players to have their kids at spring training, at the park occasionally. We've seen it many, many times. And some of these guys, Ken Griffey Jr., Prince Fielder, have gone on big careers of their own. But it wasn't 100%. This kid was there 100%. Is it possible that Mr. LaRoche took advantage of the situation?
I don't know if he took advantage of the situation. That's a perception. One person would view it that way. The other one would say that he was an eager adopter of the policy that was in place, but de facto, because he was allowed to do it and other people were allowed to do it. So I believe that every organization has to decide for themselves what is too much or too little. But the point remains, for a long time, it appears there was no such thing as too much for the White Sox, and all of a sudden there was. So again, there wasn't communicated in a clear, concise fashion.
Now, in your article, you said that you were a single dad and you had, to miss work occasionally for your kids, and this is sort of what drove you in the direction of how do we set up some guidelines and welcome kids at the office.
Exactly. I was a sales and marketing director for one of the largest newspapers in North America. And when I was new to the newspaper, I was heralded because I was one of the most senior people brought in without any previous newspaper experience. And it had even been written about in a way that maybe my fresh perspective could help save the newspaper industry. We learned later nothing could. But anyway, but I noticed a subtle shift. During my tenure, I became a single parent. And I went from being applauded and lauded for my expertise and my skills overnight to being a problematic employee who couldn't be counted on. And literally that happened after the first time that I needed to take a day off of work without notice. One of my children became sick, too sick to go into daycare, and I couldn't find a provider that quick, so I stayed home for the day. And literally, Larry, the next day, I could see the difference, feel the difference. Well, a few weeks later, it happened again with my other child, and this time it really escalated up, and I was point blank asked if I could be relied upon, if I was reliable, and what my priorities were. And that was after 2 times. So that really got the wheels in motion for me and started thinking about things.
Now, I'm going to fast forward, you're a CEO now, so you can initiate policy and do things like that. I suppose anybody in a company could make suggestions, but when you looked at this, what did you say? First of all, was that kids are good? Kids can come to the office based on guidelines?
Yes. When I saw that, I was really thinking about my employees and the company and the bottom line. And I was thinking in very far-reaching terms, and I realized a lot of my particular employees are single parents. And I view my employees as much more than just a number or a resource or an asset. They're our partners, and I wanted to take them into consideration. And once we adopted a employee-friendly workplace, so many things happened. The employees themselves were just happier. Other employees were happier because, unless you're just a grumpy person, kids tend to make you happier. And my employees that were parents became more productive. They weren't worrying about their children, where they were at, what they were doing. They weren't sneaking off to make phone calls whenever they could. They were focused and centered and less stressed on top of it all. And Larry, let me tell you a benefit that I'm just realizing now as a result of this. A lot of people from our generation and the older generations complain about millennials, complain that they don't know the value of work, they don't understand work, they don't have the same ethic we did. Well, one of our parents came to me and said, Gabe, before my daughter started coming to work with me every day, she aspired to be a mom, or or maybe not even that. She didn't know what she wanted to do. Now she says, from seeing you, I'm going to run a company. I'm going to be in charge. I'm going to learn about money and stuff. And she's only 8 or 9 years old, but that may stick. And we're seeing that with a lot of the children that are fairly frequently in our offices.
So you must have some guidelines. This is not a free-for-all. And I guess company to company, those could vary. But what are some of your guidelines?
Some of our guidelines are very young children should only be in for a minimum amount of time, a few hours. That's just a Band-Aid for us, for them to find child care if they need it, or find somebody that they can rely upon. Because no matter how focused you are, if you have a baby in your workplace, that baby needs all your attention. And then when the kids get older, they're allowed in there more frequently. We actually have a room for them where they can color, where they can watch videos, where they can read. So we keep them engaged and entertained, and don't give them run of the place. Don't get me wrong, though. I have put a few young kids in chairs with wheels and wheeled them all over all over our 27,000 square foot offices. But we certainly have some decorum in place so that we can run our business at the end of the day.
One of the things in your article I loved was don't cry over spilled milk, and that's literal.
Right. Children are children, and they will always be children. Just because they're in a workplace, they don't automatically become a grown-up. We are going to hear crying kids once in a while. They're going to get loud, and they're going to cry. And we don't apologize for it. If we're talking to a customer on the phone and they hear a crying child, we simply tell the truth. We are a kid-friendly workplace. We are a family-friendly workplace. And customers more often than not are, oh, that's so cool. And it even lifts their mood. They're even getting in a better mood if they're calling to complain initially. So, and we tell interviews, new hires when they come on, we are a child-friendly workplace. If you're a grumpy person and you don't like kids or you don't like pets, because we're pet-friendly also, this is not the place for you.
Baseball seems like it might be that kind of workplace.
I don't think so. Like you said, Adam himself grew up in that environment, and there are other players that are bringing their kids to work, and the White Sox have to make that decision for themselves. But again, I think their fault was not saying from the beginning,
right,
this is what's comfortable for us, and this is the game plan going forward.
Lastly, were there liability issues for you? What if something happens to one of the kids at work on your property?
We looked at those things very, very closely. And one of the things that we determined is we did put a cap on how many children could be in our workplace at any given time. Because at the end of the day, we're not a child care facility. That's not our business. And then secondly, we have spaces for them so that they're not, running around climbing stairs and doing those high-risk activities that could put them in danger. So we're certainly always aware of that, and again, have our rules and regulations in place like every organization should, including the White Sox if they want to have a formal policy going forward.
Really interesting perspective. Gabriel, thank you so much.
All right, thanks. I enjoyed it.
Gabriel Bristol is president and CEO of IntelliCare Direct, a customer service solutions company that is kid-friendly and pet-friendly, as you heard there, too, all spurred by this discussion around Adam LaRoche walking away from baseball because the president of the team said, dial it back with your son coming to work all the time. And his son was there, as they said, 100% of the time. And that particular story is ongoing because some of the players are pretty upset about the statement from the team president, and the debate goes on.